Daniel was the kind of father everyone respected, quiet, hardworking, and devoted to the one person who meant more to him than anything, his daughter, Lily. His wife had passed away when Lily was only 3, leaving him to raise her alone. Overnight, Daniel became a mother, a father, a cook, a teacher, and a protector. Every morning, he woke up at 5 a.m. to prepare her lunch. Every night, he read her stories until she fell asleep. And in between, he worked long hours in a company that barely noticed him but relied on him constantly. He believed that hard work would be enough. That if he just kept going, life would get easier. He never imagined how quickly everything could fall apart. Daniel had been working at the same manufacturing company for almost 10 years. He wasn't loud, he didn't socialize, he didn't play politics. He just did his job, the kind of man a company should value but rarely does. One day, the company announced budget cuts. People whispered. Everyone was scared. But Daniel believed he'd be safe. He had no warnings. No complaints. No mistakes. He always stayed late, always helped others. But life doesn't always reward the good ones first. When his manager called him into the office, Daniel entered with confidence. 5 minutes later, he walked out with a paper in his hand and a broken heart. He had been fired. Just like that. No explanation. No apology. Just, we're downsizing. Thank you for your service. Daniel didn't cry, not at work. He convinced himself he'd find something else. But as he walked out of the building for the last time, holding the final paycheck that wouldn't even cover a month of bills, the weight of being a single father crushed him. Days turned into weeks. Weeks blurred into a month. Daniel applied to job after job, 20, 30, 50 applications. He stood in lines, waited in offices, made calls, sent emails. And every time, the answer was the same. I'm sorry, we've moved forward with someone else. Lily noticed. She noticed how he stopped humming while cooking breakfast. How he stared at bills longer than before. How his shoulders drooped a little more each day. But she also noticed something else. No matter how exhausted he was, he always smiled at her. Always said, "Don't worry, sweetheart. Dad's got everything under control. Kids hear what you say. But they understand what you don't say." One evening, Daniel thought Lily was asleep. He sat at the kitchen table with his head in his hands, silently crying as he stared at overdue rent notices. But Lily wasn't sleeping. She quietly walked over, wrapped her small arms around him from behind, and whispered. "Daddy, please don't give up. I'm here. We'll do it together." Daniel cried harder. The next morning, Lily disappeared into her room after breakfast. Daniel assumed she was drawing like usual. But she wasn't drawing. She was planning. When she finally came out, she was holding a colorful poster and a tiny box decorated with stickers. "Dad," she said proudly, "I made a lemonade stand." Daniel blinked. What?" "To help you," she beamed. "You said work is slow, right? So we'll make money together. People love lemonade." Daniel wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. He knelt down, holding her cheeks. "Sweetheart, you don't have to." "But I want to," she insisted. "I'm your daughter. And daughters help their dads." Her confidence was contagious, something Daniel had forgotten how to feel. So he agreed. They set up a tiny table outside their apartment building. Lily painted signs. Daniel squeezed lemons. She waved at people walking by. And something unexpected happened. People stopped. People smiled. And people bought lemonade, not just because they were thirsty, but because this little girl had a spark in her eyes that made strangers want to help. By the end of the first day, they didn't earn much. Just a few dollars. But to Lily, It was victory. "See, Dad? We're doing it." Daniel realized something important that day. Even small hope is still hope. One afternoon, a woman in a suit stopped at their lemonade stand. She watched Lily excitedly explain their business, watched the way Daniel gently encouraged her sales pitch, and saw something beautiful: love stronger than hardship. "Your daughter is quite a talent," the woman said. Daniel smiled awkwardly. "Yeah, she's my courage." The woman introduced herself. Angela Carter, owner of a marketing agency. She had been looking for someone reliable for a new assistant position. "Would you be interested in an interview?" she asked politely. Daniel froze. An opportunity? After months? Lily jumped in front of him. "He's the best, I promise. He can do anything." Angela laughed softly. "I believe you." She handed Daniel her card. The interview wasn't easy. Daniel was nervous, rusty, and out of practice, but he was honest, hard-working, and determined. Angela saw that. Within a week, he got the job. A stable salary. A respectful environment. A place where effort actually mattered. The first thing Daniel did when he got the offer was pick up Lily, spin her around, and cry into her shoulder. "Sweetheart, you saved me." She giggled. "I told you I believe in you."